to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to the Masters of the Nerdiverse podcast, where we always have such sights to show you. This mutated dandelion of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeart, Google Play, and Spotify. Oh man, I'm already stuttering with excitement. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me today, and someone who's been on this podcast multiple times, he has done our reviews. He has done top 10s. He's just been a voice with us for so long. And I'm so happy to use this opportunity to introduce him as our new co-host, our new also host with the most, Ozzy Austin. How's it?
Doing pretty damn good today, my friends. Doing pretty good. It's big shoes to fill. Let's put it that way.
Ah, man. So if you weren't privy to the season finale, because we do our random selects and seasons, the season finale of our random select was comedy this year. And, our host, Winter Trash Monk III, had announced that he, due to his higher calling, had to leave the podcast game, due to the, I would say the social upheaval of the pandemic. It really required him to be more of a driving force in his community, based on his aforementioned, pastoral duties. So he really stepped it up in his community, and now they require more of him because of that. So,
Yep.
With that, he left the channel, very amicably to further pursue his calling, to which I give him the most respect and high hopes that he becomes the ultra super pastor, with the blade made of holy water and all that. So, we definitely wish him well. And during this pause, this is like the perfect time to just kind of give the channels a different light, a different vibe. And, just want to just give him props. And I'm sure he'll be poking his head in every once in a while to see how things are doing once things settle down. But I'm very excited. I'm extremely excited for the future of the Masters Nerdiverse podcast. And Austin is the unshakable, wild card, the thin blade that slices, that slips in between the armors of pop culture. So I'm super excited to see how we mesh as a team and how the channel grows out of this. So definitely want to give Winter some props and give a proper introduction to Austin. How was your week? I think that'll be the best
my week's really well. Thanks for asking.
You got it.
Yeah, Winter, all the best. All the best have looked at him. He's a great guy. I mean, I chatted with him on Twitter. He's doing he did a speech at a Black Lives Matter, small get together in his community. So honestly, good for him. He was doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, power to him.
More power to him. He's become.
So besides that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, to say he's become a revolutionary, dude. He's reached next level. He's become a
So
our little Bulbasaur has turned into a
I don't know. Is Winter a Venusaur? I don't know. Anyway, my week's been fine. It's been really hectic because I'm part of a master's program currently, so that's fun.
Awesome.
All kinds of stuff. Stayed up till about 2:00 last night, just working on stuff because I have 3 different projects due in 5 days of each other, so that's nightmarish.
Always.
God. And then I kind of messed around whenever I had some free time, and I played some games on the Switch because that was nice and relaxing, and you can take it with you, which is the ultimate godsend of any gaming platform, is taking it with you while you move around the house.
What are you playing right now, dude?
Well, I kind of messed around with Terraria, and I was like, this is a game sync I cannot put too much effort into, so I got to back off of this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I went back to playing some good old Breath of the Wild.
Can't beat that, dude. You can't beat. That was my game. That was like second place game of the year like a couple of years ago. That game was absolutely amazing, dude.
It's fantastic. I can't wait for the sequel, but god dang, do I hate durability mechanics so bad.
Have you heard about that PC mod where they just kind of do away with that?
I have, and that's really tempting to see how differently the game plays after that, because I can't imagine. God
Dude,
dang.
when I was playing it, I made a beeline for the Master Sword because I was like, I hate this. This is the worst, right? I made a beeline. I did everything I had to do to get to the Master Sword because I hated the durability system in that game. It's so finicky, you know.
Gotta have high health or else it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it's literally, and that's kind of trippy, y'all, and that's a whole nother conversation, like how the Master Sword steals your life mana for you to even wield it. You know what I mean? Like, damn, Daniel, back at it again with that green tarp. Dude, yeah, it's been a crazy week.
I would like to say quickly to anybody who is feeling pressured or intimidated by going outside due to COVID, but still want to be active in your community for protests going on because it's an important cause in this time in history, literally history, donate. Just go out to find some causes. I mean, I found some good food banks, national bail funds. Donate what you can there. If you're too scared like me to go outside due to COVID and knowing people around you who are susceptible to that kind of virus stuff, go out there, just drop some money here and there, give some people some chances here and there where you can. It's not the worst thing in the world to put your money where your mouth is and just donate into a cause instead of being there.
100%. And I personally am high risk. I'm asthmatic. Like I've been a bubble boy since this whole thing has started, but I've still, tried to do as much I can within my community to be supportive. I've done artwork for BLM, efforts and things like that. So yeah, definitely do what you can if you feel it in your heart to do so. Because like you said, this is history changing events that we're living in right now. And most growing pains aren't comfortable. Most growth is not supposed to be comfortable. So as things start to mellow out and become a bit more normal, which is why we're bringing back the news channel now, because it's not just COVID news. It's not, and COVID just kind of dovetailed right into BLM, Black Lives Matter. But the news is starting to come back. Nature is returning, as it were. The nerdiverse is returning. With that picture of the seagull with the Jordans on. So yeah, definitely give where you can. There's tons of good, I would say, worthy charities. Research your charity too. See,
God, yes.
Trace where the money's going, because there's a lot of false charities out there that will take your money and next thing you know, you just bought some guy a boat. So really trace your charity back to its core, just to make sure that you're making sure that your dollars are going to the right place. With that, man, did you do anything else with your week, Austin, by any chance?
Lots of master's homework stuff, so that's god awful. But I have actually joined the bread baking cult of America in full swing at this point, so that's interesting.
Dude, what is your most decadent breads that you've created, my man?
So my most decadent breads, I have two in mind. One was a jalapeno bread. So it was nice and fluffy, spicy. I twist into a knot to kind of make it like a knotted kind of garlic bread, essentially.
Yeah.
So because I put garlic in there as well as jalapeno, so it was delicious. Then I made a dessert bread. So it was chocolate, a brown vanilla porter beer to act as the yeast and rising agent. Lots of sugar, cinnamon, and chocolate chips with pecan nuts finely dashed and mixed in there. And when it came out, I covered it in a homemade bourbon cream glaze at the end.
Dude, all you need to do is throw like a half melted Snicker in between that. You got magic. I
have to admit, that was some dense, spongy, moist, delicious cake, and I can only make one of those like every few months, or else I'm gonna go diabetic.
Yeah, you know, treat yourself. You gotta treat yourself every once in a while. Dude.
Reasonably, treat yourself reasonably, people. Reasonably. You can only have one bacon shake once a year, dude. That's it. Oh God. Oh.
One bacon shake a year, dude. That's it. Otherwise, you'll die. You'll just explode.
It'll just like become concrete in your veins.
You become that dude from RoboCop who got spilled with all that, toxic waste. You'll just start melting away.
Oh, God.
With the smell of bacon and blood.
Oh, that scene terrified me as a kid.
Yeah, get off me, man. That's my favorite scene in anything.
So how's your week been, Mike? What you been up to?
Dude, it feels like I went to get like some medical stuff done during this whole COVID thing because I'm a little sickly boy, and got a clean bill of health. And immediately after that clean bill of health, my entire body got ravaged with sickness. I've had like a greatest hits of what makes Michael not feel well. I've had colds. I've had respiratory infections. Everything and anything. Skin started to boil, all types of crazy stuff, dog. Like, felt like Job in the Bible. So I've been kind of just taking it easy, man. I lost my voice for a little while. You probably could hear it a little bit, but, that's starting to come back. It's all coming back to me now. Celine. Other than that, I've just been fighting that. I work in the medical field, so the medical field during this pandemic is kind of nutty.
Yeah.
So I've been trying my best to just maintain sanity during that. Fun stuff I've been doing. I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat because, like you said, I can't really dive into anything too deep, game system wise, because I'm so busy on a bunch of different fronts. So dropping like an hour or two in the Towers of Time and Mortal Kombat and just combo mastery and things like that, it doesn't really take too much brain power. I've been playing a lot of speaking of RoboCop, I've been playing a lot of RoboCop in Mortal Kombat, just because I have to. Like, I can't not know how to play RoboCop. So I've been practicing with him a lot, and he's an interesting character. Other than that, I've been reading a lot more comics. I picked up the Flash Rebirth series by Jeff Johns and Ethan Van Sciver, because I read it once before as a kid, and that was kind of the lead into Flashpoint. But I wanted just to read that again because I like the artwork, even though the man isn't that great. Ethan's a trip, but I like Jeff Johns as a writer, so I wanted to get back into that.
It's always fun reading art or being a part of art and realizing the artist is a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, and me and Winter a long time ago did a After Dark about separating the art from the artist. Is it possible? Right?
It's very rough to do that.
It's extremely hard, dude. And I came to the conclusion it's all about your personal threshold of tolerance towards a person's transgressions or proven transgressions. You know
like John
I mean?
Lennon in the Beatles.
Like Roman Polanski in Rosemary's Baby.
Like Orson Scott Card and Ender's Game.
Like R. Kelly in The Chocolate Factory.
Okay, that man should just burn in hell. He's bad.
That's what I'm saying. There's lines, dude. We all shift the goalposts depending on what our tolerance level is. Like it's crazy. Halle Berry had to do with a car. I mean, Matthew Broderick killed a guy. I mean, it's like...
Oh, like Mark Wahlberg blinded a guy for just being Asian.
That's exactly. But we're all laughing at the other guy and praising him in The Departed. So it's really... Like, it really depends on your own threshold of tolerance and your own ignorance. Do you know this person's a scumbag, right? Some people don't know. Some people don't know anything about their, like Michael Jackson is the biggest polarizing person because of everything I was saying for him post-mortem. You know,
I'm gonna just like typify that down to a few sentences, and I'm gonna move past Michael Jackson. I believe he was a damaged man. I don't believe he touched kids.
I don't
I
believe that either. Yeah.
everyone went after him because he had money and he was an easy target.
Yep, and the man was trying to buy a network, and that's a whole nother conversation. And certain people are only allowed to go so far. Anywho,
even though he was white, Michael Jackson was originally black, and that doomed him in this country.
In this country, oh man, we should just create Krakoa for my X-Men fans out there.
Oh, anywho. Quick tidbit. Last thing before we move on to the gaming news, the happy stuff. Thank God, my city is finally getting rid of a Confederate statue.
Oh,
Jesus!
Congratulations, dude.
Thank Christ!
It only took
civil upheaval to get rid of the goddamn thing.
You know, it's the eyesore, dude. Now all we need to do is for Washington to change the name of the Redskins, and we'll be fine.
Well, also I'll get rid of Christopher Columbus in every book because he was kind of a horrible human being.
Well, you know what they say: history's written by the winners. It's horrible.
Deus Vult. Anyway.
Jeez Louise.
Man, we're going on a grim scale. Let's turn that 180 degrees and talk about games.
Let's turn that frown upside down, shall we?
So really quickly, let's talk about that poll. Real quick for anticipated PS5 games. Given on Masters of the Nerdiverse Twitter podcast poll.
Thank you so much. You took the words right out of my moof. Right out of my gub.
Your moof?
My moof. You took it right out.
God, you dork.
I'm a little nerdy.
All right. So when given a spectrum of games for most anticipated PS5 games, Resident Evil 8, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo 7.
Yep.
I got to say, I'm really surprised most people chose Gran Turismo.
Yeah, let's get to it. So, in lieu of the big news, this is kind of the reason why we wanted to bring it back now, is the announcement of the PS5 and its whole grandiose future of gaming webinar, as it were. We did a poll on Twitter, which is at MNerdiverse. That is at MNerdiverse, where you can view all of our upcoming content, speak with us, the Nerdiverse, communicate. Follow. Hit the follow link. I want to hit 2100 by the end of the summer. We're so close. Click. So I curated 4 games out of the list of the announcements, which we will go over in the news. And as Austin mentioned, we're going to be going over Resident Evil 8, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel, and Gran Turismo 7. And the way it shook down was, with a whopping 56% of the votes, Gran Turismo 7 took it.
That is the most surprising thing to me.
People love cars, Doug. Cars, Doug.
I mean, I don't really care for cars that much.
I love cars.
It's surprising to me. Cars. Okay, I get it. I'm a minority here now. But, I mean, Gran Turismo, it seems like the same game every time to me. Now there's just shinier cars, and that's it.
It's one of those things, man. Like, I'm not a car guy myself. Like, I like my Need for Speeds when they come out. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that Gran Turismo is a PlayStation staple, and it's a numbered sequel. It's not Gran Turismo, Fierce or Gran Turismo, Zest or whatever, those weird. It's a numbered sequel, and it's probably going to be a launch title on a brand new system. And it's one of those games, like I was watching, I was reading a news article, and it's one of those games you just buy. So when the family comes over, it's like, oh, I got the PS5, check out these graphics, right? You put up Gran Turismo 5, and you let your uncle play. And he's like, this is the future.
I remember the first game.
The
first game I played on PS4 was Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
The first game I played on my PS4 was Killzone Shadowfall, and it was beautiful.
There you go. So I have to say, out of that poll, I would have chosen either Horizon or Spider-Man.
I'm surprised Horizon got so low, because Horizon is my favorite game out of the 4. I mean, I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. It was an amazing game.
To be frank, Spider-Man is a standalone expansion remaster, so it's not really like super, super new.
No,
it's smaller. It's smaller in content.
You're right. You're right, and you're wrong. It is a remaster. It's not exactly a new engine. It's not new graphics. They're up-res.
Yeah, it's a remaster with an added-on expansion built into it.
But it's not an expansion. It's a full game. It's a real boy game. Think of Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Uh, yeah, it's like a.
It's not as going to be as deep as Marvel Spider-Man, but it's going to be, I think, a 20-30 hour game.
It's like Spider-Man 1.5 almost.
It is Spider-Man 1.5. It's a half measure in between Spider-Man 2.
I mean, honestly, cool, baller, amazing. I like Miles. He's a good character, and I want to play him. But they just didn't handle communication with that the best way possible right when it first came out. So
I mean, we're days out of the event, so a lot of stuff is still coming out.
Oh yeah, true.
But we're going to be talking about these games in deeper detail in the news, actually, because we're going to be doing, because we have a metric ton of news, just even outside of the PS5 stuff. So
yeah, I mean, we gotta like kind of rapid fire some of this stuff. Honestly.
Exactly, very good point. And we're gonna do what we do around here, in MOTN is what we're going to do our MOTN yay or nay. And these are the rules for yay or nay. So I'm going to mention a news article. And Austin has the option to either say yay, and we'll talk about that new article briefly, or say nay. And if he says nay, we just got to pass on it. Let the title of the article be its announcement, and that's it. I get one veto if I really want to talk about it, but only one veto for this episode. Now, mind you, I've never had to veto before in the past, but we'll see. It may be something I'm like dead set on talking about. So we're going to talk about everything else but the PS5 announcements for now. And then we're going to leave that for last. Does that make any sense for you?
Yep. Sweet.
So let's go ahead and go into the news. News.
The first thing we want to talk about was that PS5 console design, right?
That's what we're going to open with when we talk about PS5 stuff.
Okay,
but we're going to talk about everything else but the PS5 right now.
Okay. So I guess the first thing we want to talk about is No Man's Sky crossplay across all platforms now.
If we could do games first, let's do games first. So No Man's Sky gets crossplay across all platforms. Yay or nay? You want to talk about it or not?
I have a few things to say.
Yeah. All right.
So
yeah,
good for them. Hello Games came back. They made a decent game. You know what? Actually, good for them. I'm proud of them. That's a good effort because they came from nothing, essentially.
100%.
All platform crossplay. Amazing. Sweet. Let's keep that trend up. Hell yeah.
Yep. No Man's Sky is a special game. It's a very special game because, like you said, it couldn't have launched with worse acclaim, right? This game was dragged in the mud. It was legally sued due to mismarketing. I mean, the game was DOA, and these guys never gave up. They stuck to their guns. They quietly worked on the game for years, and now No Man's Sky is a very good game, and it's cross-platform across all platforms, and it's probably going to reflect that into the PS5 and the Xbox. So
I'm so glad you called it Xbox as well, because there's no other name for it.
It's the Xbox, dude. I don't care what anybody says. Forever, and for the rest of its yeah. Please, the Scarlet would have been just a fine name anyway.
I know it would have been so much better.
But it's so much better. So, No Man's Sky. I'm not going to say much about it because I haven't played the game, so I don't have much of a comment on it. But I do really respect the gumption of that team. Was it Supergiant that made it?
Hello Games.
Hello Games. Thank you. Sorry, Supergiant made something else. But yeah, good on them. And like you said, I hope more games follow, especially these indie developers, follow more of a any port in a storm. Especially if it's a multiplayer game, let it be cross-platform. Let everybody be able to play it, you know what I mean? At the same time. I would love if Monster Hunter World was cross-platform across all platforms.
Oh, yeah. That'd be so nice.
It'd be so nice, dude. I just wish they would all be able to play, play with each other a bit more amicably. Speaking of people taking their ball and running home and no longer wanting to play, AT&T is looking to sell Warner Brothers Interactive to studios like EA. They just threw it there. Apparently, they're throwing up the entire Warner Brothers gaming division on the market. Yay or nay?
Yay. Because why?
I
Sorry.
don't know. They've made some missteps. Warner Brothers Gaming has. And it's kind of weird. They're in a weird place because all of their biggest IPs are in an odd place. Mortal Kombat is not their biggest IP. Even though it's a huge IP, it's not their biggest. Like Batman Arkham Knight, the Arkham series is probably one of their biggest franchises, and it's dead quiet. There's no hype around it. Harry Potter would be one of their biggest franchises, but J.K. Rowling won't shut her mouth, and she's saying all types of crazy stuff in putting like besmirchment on the brand. You know what I mean? So it's like they're in a weird place right now.
So I hate Warner Brothers because all they've done with their games is consistently make messes out of them for anything from like PC releases to exorbitant and gross gambling mechanics, otherwise known as loot boxes.
Yep.
And generally being complete douchebags to any kind of game community that they try to market themselves to.
Yep.
So, you know what? Fine. Sell it away, AT&T. Get rid of Warner Brothers. Do not let them handle any more games. Sell it to other companies besides EA, and you'll be fine.
Besides EA, because that just said them to die, Doug. I wouldn't mind if Microsoft bought them.
Actually, it wouldn't be the worst.
Let Mortal Kombat be an Xbox exclusive.
Well, it comes to PC because anything on Xbox comes to PC nowadays anyway.
I mean, that would be a nice get, though. Can you imagine Street Fighter's on PlayStation, but Mortal Kombat's on Xbox?
That would actually be interesting. I have to admit, that'd be pretty interesting.
It would give me a reason to buy Mortal Kombat 12 or what, Injustice 3 or something or whatever.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham series exclusive to the Xbox.
Ooh, man, that'd be.
I'll give you a reason to buy. If they brought out like Batman Court of Owls exclusive to the Xbox.
Oh shit!
I might have to buy an Xbox, right? Like that's a tough one, dude. You know what I mean?
If I got a Xbox, I would just put like the worst kind of stickers all over that thing.
Yeah, man.
Just live up to the name.
Yeah, man. I would definitely be getting subscriptions to things just so I can get their bumper stickers and shirts. It just
oh God. Oh. Ooh.
Family pies. Anyway, what else we got? Let's talk about just a couple of things I wanted to mention, not necessarily really go over. There was a Bill and Ted trailer for Bill and Ted's excellent Bill and Ted's Face Music. Yay or nay?
Nay, it's a poster. It's nice, but there's not really a whole lot to take off of it so far.
We're getting movie trailers again. That's fine. Nature's returning.
yeah, but like a poster is like not really a whole lot to build off of. So I'm just gonna go, it's okay, but nay.
No, is this a no news article about Matt Reeves saying that there will be a new Joker for the Batman trilogy? I mean, duh. I
mean, Robert Pattinson's going to be in it. He's Batman, so what Batman villain works best? Probably freaking Joker, people.
He's the bootsman. He wears boots. Flash fires Hartley Sawyer over offensive social media remarks. Yay or nay?
Oh, man.
Yay or nay, dude?
I don't want to validate with what he said, but I'll say very quickly, cool. I haven't seen The Flash since like season 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Delete your tweets, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't be a douchebag. Like that's a very easy one.
Don't be an asshole, right?
Like don't go belittling people because they look different than you. That's not okay. Don't be J.K. Rowling.
Don't be an asshole. So that's the hardest part. Some people can't help it, right?
Don't be J.K. Rowling.
Don't be J.K. Rowling, please. Don't put it on a highly documentable social media outlet. And C, if you've done so in the past 20 years, take a minute to think about it. Say, have I been an asshole anywhere in the last 20 years? Maybe I should take that down. I'm a new man. I don't think that way anymore.
I gotta say, I killed my Facebook account. Most liberating feeling in the world.
Man, if it wasn't for this channel, I wouldn't have a Facebook account. I keep it for the channel because stupid Facebook makes you have a personal page to have a business page. Please change that.
They never will.
Bastards.
Yeah.
We got to remember the life of Danny O'Neill. He passed away at 81. Acclaimed DC Comics writer for Batman, Green Arrow. He wrote Green Lantern. He created Ra's al Ghul. He wrote some of the most prolific story arcs of Batman. He was the dude that changed Batman from being Adam West to the detective to being the serious dark. He turned him into the Dark Knight before Frank Miller stepped in and made him even darker. But
he saw the story of Jason Todd, for God's sake. One of the best arcs of Batman.
He wrote the death of Jason Todd. It's crazy. This man has done more for comics. He's up there, in my opinion, with Stan Lee, with Jack Kirby. You know what I mean? As the pioneers of comics on the DC side of things.
He made DC heroes more like people. And that's the best thing about DC heroes, is because they're gods trying to be people.
He wrote them with romantic interest. He wrote them with conflicts. And he humanized these gods. You know what I mean? He made Batman a man rather than just a myth, you know? And without him, there would be no Green Arrow the way he is now. There would be no Green Lantern the way he is now. He wrote the storyline where Green Arrow's partner Speedy had a heroin addiction.
Yep, that was him. And he also did the Demon in a Bottle story for Iron Man when he came back to Marvel after leaving DC.
Danny O'Neill, guys. Just wanted to take a second to remember the man who pretty much gave comics a spirit. He was the spirit of comics, man. You know, and 81's a good year to go. He lived a nice full life. I'm sure he jumped into a body of water to fight an alligator at some point of his life. As we all should do at least once. So hats off to him. Definitely hats off to the man, the myth, the legend. Lastly, for our miscellaneous news, I want to talk about this Batwoman situation. Batwoman showrunner addresses the decision to introduce a new lead for season 2. This is crazy.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, if you make a dangerous situation that's bad enough that your main lead decides to leave for one season, you should just reassess everything.
How you're doing things, right? So Ruby Rose, who played Kathy Kane in season 1 of Batwoman, this was a big deal for the CW, for DC Comics, because they're actually giving a bad character a TV role, which hasn't happened since Adam West, a live action version, right? That's actually worked. Apparently, and after season 1, Ruby Rose decided, I'm out. We're done. We out. She does a backflip out the window. And everyone's like, why? You know, this is the role of a lifetime. She was like, yeah, because I almost died. And that wakes a person up. nice fresh cup of coffee in the morning. And I'm cool. Cool on all of it. You know, you guys are doing things half-assed. Apparently that's the reason, you know.
Yeah. Hollywood has a bad history of safety concerns for a lot of their stunts people. I
just heard that the stunt woman on Deadpool 2 who passed away, who did the bike stunt,
yep.
they just labeled that a quote-unquote accident. So the family's not getting anything.
Yep, that's Hollywood for you.
That is wrecked, dude. The one woman who lost her arm during the Resident Evil, the last Resident Evil movie, the stunt woman, another biking incident. She lost her arm and she had side body paralysis. She's just getting paid now.
Mm-hmm.
It's craziness, dude. But yeah, the showrunner has decided not to recast the main role, but to write out that character and give us a new character that's not in the comics as the new quote-unquote Batwoman.
Man,
this irks my soul so much.
I really don't know what
I hate it.
DC live action shows are becoming, but it's not good.
There is decades of characters and storylines and ways to do this.
It seems it's really cementing the fact that DC is capitalizing and kind of leading with animation, but Marvel's leading more so with the live action stuff.
Yeah, and it flips. And DC has really no idea what to do with any of their live action efforts. Maybe film or television. They don't know. We're messing. We got 3 Jokers floating around technically, but the new. I mean,
at least Birds of Prey looks promising.
I watched that the other day during the COVID break. I watched Birds of Prey. It was okay. It's okay.
Better than Suicide Squad?
Yes, but only because you could tell the director had more control over their idea than David Ayer did.
Oh, it's like the studios don't really know what creative freedom does.
It's almost like when you let a director reach their vision and maybe a cohesive story. Nah, that's stupid. That's stupid.
That doesn't make money. That doesn't make money at all.
Doesn't make money at all. So for CW to say, yeah, we're going to create a character to be the new Batwoman, and we're going to retire this iconic character who is Batwoman. You might as well just change the entire, make it do a Batgirl series. Make it Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon.
And then you end the series by her being shot and becoming Oracle. That's how you end it.
And then after that, you go into Birds of Prey.
Exactly.
That one's free, CW. It took us 30 seconds to think that up. And we're not even getting paid. Anyway, we're moving on.
You sons of bitches.
Just give me money, guys. Just give me the money. So we're really going to get into the weeds now because we got to talk about this PS5.
Oh, you missed something though. You missed DC Comics severs the relationship with Diamond Comics.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Did you want to talk about that? Yeah or nay?
Nay.
Nay. That's fine.
Nay.
Not gonna hurt you.
You could have used your veto.
No, it's fine. I don't want to talk about it either. That's why I was gonna skip it. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Jesus.
Diamond Comics had a monopoly. DC is over it, so that's totally fine. Totally good. Totally good.
All right, let's cut open our veins like Speedy and just inject that good shit right in with this next topics.
Gosh, Austin. Everyone knows that you sniff PlayStation 5. You don't inject it venously. That's Bush League. What are we? What is this, the 90s?
I get it. You got to get that fan dust dripping out of your gums.
Yeah, man. You got to rub it.
Oh, man, that image actually upsets me a bit.
That makes me very upset because we're going to get to the PlayStation 20 and it's just going to be a pill. You're going to swallow it and go to sleep. You're going to wake up as Kratos. That's the super future.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's the future we want to see. You're going to do a nice big... You guys get that Horizon Zero Dawn line? Next thing you know, you're riding a mechanical... You're literally riding a mechanical bull.
And it just speaks to you saying, "Sir, please get off me."
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
So...
Oh, geez.
To the nick of things, what do you think about that PS5 console design?
Let's talk about that first before we get into the games.
Yes.
It's a bit insistent, isn't it?
So I've seen so many comparisons. It looks like a building that Elon Musk designed. It looks like something designed in 2007 for the PS5 future reveal article they had a while back. It looks like the helmet of Cell from Dragon Ball Z. For God's sake.
It looks like the help. It looks like the Eye of Mordor. You know,
exactly. Yeah, the tower.
The Tower of Mordor. I don't mind it. It's just trying too hard. It's just a little try-hardy.
I prefer it over the sex box brick look.
Yeah, it has personality.
But
right,
I sincerely hope this means that modular color design is more of an easy thing to do as well.
I think this thing's going to come in all types of flavors, dude.
With the 2 flavors they have right now, physical versus digital only.
I'll say this. I haven't bought a physical game in almost 2 years. But okay. I like the option of owning physical if I wanted to. Right?
I like having physical because recently I've gotten into the habit of getting Steelbook games.
Ooh, those are fun.
Steelbook cases.
Yeah, those are neat.
Super tight. I'm actually thinking of my next house, or whenever I get to another house in the future when I move. I'm probably going to make like a magnet wall and just like attach the Steelbook cases to that.
I was thinking of that too, like creating. Remember when you would go to like old Tower Records and they would have the standee showing the poster rack where it would show you like They were like the posters would hang vertically. You can just kind of swing through the posters. I was thinking of creating something like that, but for like a video game case, where you have like a vertical kind of like plastic sheets for each
like
game.
a rock wall almost.
Yeah, like a rock wall, but for your games.
Okay,
So
which game's going to hold my weight the most? Is it going to be Yakuza, or is it going to be a little Persona over here?
Persona's real strong, dude. Persona's real buff, dog. So
Quick side tangent. Persona 4 is on Steam. Go fucking buy it.
I'm looking at my PS4 right now, and looking at this thing, it almost feels like it's a butterfly, and the PS4 is the chrysalis, in a weird way.
I mean, it's a lot better looking than the PS3 ever looked.
Man, the PS3, that thing. I'm looking at my PS3 actually right now too, all dusty, looking dusted and disgusted. The design is fine, as long as it fits fine. As long as it can lay on its side.
Is it a launch PS3, or is it one of the PS3s that got slimmer over time?
It's a launch PS3. It's a big boy.
So you have a brick.
I got the big boy. I got the big one. A big
man.
on.
Yeah, that's a big boy right there.
Yeah, I got big chungus over here, dog. I got me that chungus. But the PS5 design, it's fine.
I like the controller.
I love the controller.
Like the controller looked a lot.
I want to play with that haptic feedback, dude. I want to know what that's about.
God, yes. And it's substantially thicker, which I like because I have big hands.
Same here.
I have big murder hands for strangling people.
I got big old rusty hands, as my mom would say.
I got hands I could use to like snap someone's windpipe. So having something that can fill off all my fingers feels great.
Yeah, I want to get my hands on that system so bad. I just want to see what it's about. I want to hear its start jingle. You know, like these are things that I kind of just want to see what it's. As long as it fits in a cubby, as long as it's not awkwardly in my house, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to stay in vertical for the most part.
I want to sit it on its side. Vertical jacks up. I've had bad experience with vertical setups, dude.
I mean, I guess it does depend because some designs look good, some designs not really. It really just.
And I'm always the type of person, and I only break this rule when it comes to console launches, is I hate getting Gen 1 hardware. I hate getting Gen 1 hardware because it always has issues. It's going to have overheating issues. It's going to have processing issues because it's the first gen. It's going to have problems. That's with anything, right?
Yep.
But it's also a PS5.
There'll be some games on launch I'll play no matter what. What's not on the list that C didn't catch was that Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming at launch for free, PS Plus.
I chose not to put that on this list. Because it's such a... I'm looking at my copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3.
I don't care for that game.
I'm over it.
It's done.
I'm over it.
It's tired.
I did not add it to the list on purpose, Doug.
It's still got to mention, though, that it's there. If you have PS Plus now,
you get $1
Grand
million.
Theft Auto 5, you'll start getting 1 million Grand Theft Auto bucks every month leading up to the PS5. And you get the PS5, you'll get the PS5 edition of Grand Theft Auto, yada, 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 so forth, so forth. It's a boring-ass game, and I do not care for it.
We're millionaires, boys.
They still sell that game for full fucking price.
$60, Doug. You don't think that whatever the inflation is on PS5 games, they're not going to apply that to Grand Theft Auto 5? This could be a $70 game. And people will buy it because it's Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, they can buy it. I'm not going to bother with that shit.
Shit. All right, so we're going to rapid fire these games. And and we're going to talk about the ones we want to talk about. We're going to skip the ones we want to skip. And my veto still applies. So we're going to go through this quickly because this is the curate. This is not the full list of games. If you want the full list, go on IGN. You know, this is the list I've curated that I think are the most interesting showcases of this webinar that they did. So we're going to go through. Yeah. So
sorry. Just go ahead. I was just reconfirming.
Absolutely, 100%. So let's go through this list now. We're talking about Horizon Forbidden West. Yay or nay?
Yay! I want Aloy. I want Aloy.
I want to be in San Francisco. I want.
You want to be near where you live.
I want to be near. I want to see my house from the game.
If you could actually find the ruined apartment building where you live in and just like find it in Horizon Zero Dawn, I would clap.
I would just eat my own brain. I would just rip it out and eat it. Take 2 bites before I die.
I mean, people were able to do that in Spider-Man.
Yeah, 100%. They were finding like their local delis and shit. Horizon Forbidden West. That's the console seller.
Yeah.
That's what they call the killer app.
Well, it's not going to be at launch. They haven't confirmed if it's at launch yet or not.
No, we don't know. Chances are it won't. It'll probably be
2021.
Yeah, 2021 holiday season 2021. We're gonna have to wait for it, which I'm okay with. I'm sure they'll give us plenty of things to play with then. But there's gonna be swimming levels. There's gonna be updated graphics.
New mechanical monsters such as a giant snapping turtle.
Giant snapping tortoise looking like Monster Hunter out here.
And war mammoths.
War mammoths. Actual wildlife is back. So you get to see like little shellfish and...
Yeah, that's the craziest bit to me. Like all the aquatic life's untouched apparently.
It would make sense, I guess.
Or, well, maybe they have like a better library. Who knows? It's really hard to say because the foxes and turkeys and whatnot were present in the last game too.
No, the little animals were present, like rabbits, stuff like that, right? Like,
yeah,
because humans had to eat something. But are we gonna get like actual like lions and stuff like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how crazy it's gonna get? Well, you got to think about the animal culture in the West Coast. So it will be coyotes, it'll be mountain lions. It'll be bears at most, wendigos, chupacabras, of course.
I want some cryptid. I want to find a fucking Sasquatch. I want to find a fucking Sasquatch print. I want to be on the ground. Ayla's going to go, big thing. Wonder what that is.
I want to ride a mechanical chupacabra. Make it happen, Guerrilla Games.
Would it just like eat other mechanical monsters and freak them out?
It would drink the oil of other mechanical monsters.
That would be wild.
It would siphon the oil because it's a chupacabra.
Oh man, that'd be wild.
And it just drained his energy battery. Make it damn happen. We're moving on.
Man, I want that.
Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yeah or nay?
Yes, Queen.
We talked about it a little bit, but Miles is getting his own game. Apparently, it's a full game. A liken to Uncharted, Lost Legacy. It's a half measure between Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's Miles' thing. It's Miles' story. And I think this is an excuse for not to be so Miles heavy when Spider-Man 2 actually comes out.
That's fair, actually.
So I think in Spider-Man 2, I don't think it's going to be multiplayer. That would be crazy. But I don't think we're not going to get as much Miles in Spider-Man 2 because this game will exist. We're going to get all the Miles we need in this game. For now. Until they go full Spider-Verse, and God knows what that's going to be.
Oh, that'd be interesting as heck.
Because then we get Ghost Spider, which is Spider-Gwen. We'll get Punk Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099. Kind of like a Shattered Dimensions kind of vibe to it. Which was Spider-Verse before the Spider-Verse.
I actually like that one quite a bit. I remember playing that one.
Yeah. Hashtag, if you have an old system, play some Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. That's an interesting game. So,
but feeding from Insomniac's obsession with Shattered Dimensions, though, is also Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart.
That's a very good segue. We can jump to that actually right now. Ratchet and Clank: Rift Apart. Ratchet and Clank. It's Ratchet and Clank and PlayStation's chocolate and peanut butter, man.
I am so glad I love this series.
It's kind of amazing that they brought him back. I'm happy they brought him back. The system needs, and someone mentioned this earlier, and it was like, the conference didn't look that impressive. Like, well, PlayStation needs a wide variety of game types. They can't all be photorealistic, Horizon Zero Dawn. They need to be more, they need to be artistically varied, right?
And I love Ratchet and Clank. I've played every game since the first. I love it to death. It's hilarious. It's good fun. And honestly, that female Lombax is going to make a lot of awakenings in some kids.
Hey, man, we all got to start somewhere, dude.
I love it how the two guys on Twitter who helped model that character on Insomniac Games went, we know what we're doing. And it just drove us further.
We got you, buddy. We got you, fam. They literally did the eye wink. We got you, fam. And the fan art starts now.
T-minus 5 days ago.
T-minus, Doug. I like the level switching. I like it's showcasing the speed of that SSD drive that this thing is powering. It looks beautiful, and that was running at like 720. God knows what this thing's going to look like in 4K.
Exactly.
And that's the thing about a lot of these presentations is that you're only seeing it at like 30% of its graphical fidelity because it was off a stream. Imagine that thing on your TV. It's going to look stupid, dude. It's going to look crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, God, I'm just so ready for this right now. Even with the reboot, which is a little weird, I'm so ready for this to happen.
Dude, if that's a launch title, that's a game you get, right? You get PS5, you get some Ratchet, you go have fun, you know?
I will say what's not on the docket, which I think deserves at least a little funny mention, was the other furry game, Goodbye Volcano High.
Okay, let's talk about that before we go further onto this list.
It's not going to be very much. I'm just going to say, looks cute. That's funny. All the furries are already randy for it.
I mean, it's dinosaurs partying at the end of the earth, dude. It's very Life is Strange.
High school. It's somebody put Life is Strange with furries on Twitter.
Yeah, it's Life is.
Somebody else said furries are strange as the title.
Furries are strange, dude. If you want your metal pterodactyl, dude, have fun, go nuts, dude.
I'm not gonna shame anyone who's a furry. I just think
it's all love, dude. If you like it,
it's just hilarious ribbing.
If you like it, I love it, Doug. And the fan art starts now. Create your own OC, Doug. Original character, do not steal, Doug. Starting. I want to be a Stegosaurus.
If anybody in that game has my name, I'm just gonna.
You have a very common name. I'm expecting it too. My name is Mike.
Mike Spike.
I'm going to be some kind of like Spinosaurus that plays on the football team, dude.
No, you're gonna be a Stegosaurus. You're gonna be called Mike the Spike.
Mike the Spike, and I'm a running back. Oh, jeez.
All right. So besides that, then besides horrible things. There's
from one horror to another.
Exactly.
Resident Evil 8 Village.
I did not see that being a Resident Evil until like the last 5 seconds.
We're talking about this.
That's good. That's good. Really good.
I want something different. The biohazard, this game's going to end in the lab. It doesn't matter where it is in the world. It's going to end in the lab.
But there's vampires. There's a werewolf.
There's a coven of witches.
There's all kinds of good shit in this.
There's old dudes that look like the guy from Alien. The one who
looks like Father Gascoigne from Bloodborne.
Father Gascoigne's in the game. There's a bevy of beautiful witches, Doug.
I am just so ready for this. So ready for this.
There's Puffy Boy Chris Redfield, Doug. Puffy Boy, Doug.
He looks kind of thick.
He's thick and never dick, Doug. Ethan's back from Resident Evil 7. It's a continuation of the story. I love continuation.
This poor man wanted an out at the end of Biohazard, and he's not getting it.
One thing about Resident Evil that's interesting is that all the protagonists of Resident Evil knew what they were getting into in a weird way. Like Jill Valentine was a member of STARS, of course.
Leon Kennedy.
Claire Renfield was going into the heart of the city looking for her brother, right? They all walked into the situation. Ethan didn't walk into anything. Ethan was just some dude looking for his girlfriend. How did he know he would walk into the House of Horrors?
And it's just, I think it's just hilarious.
It's crazy, dude. And he's our protag now, which I'm totally fine, because scary games are scarier when you're not a super marine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, I'm super with it. I'm probably
not going to play it because I'm a coward, but I'll more than likely enjoy watching someone else play.
I'll buy it because I want to support it. I may not beat it because I am also a coward, but
let me know how those heart attacks go.
We do it back to back. They come back to back.
You have so many, they just offset each other.
And you're fine. You're like Mr. Burns. So many diseases running at the same time. Speaking of
the crowded door effect.
Invincible. He's like, no, even the slightest breeze. Invincible. Speaking of scary things, we got a Demon Souls remake.
That's me getting excited right there.
2021 is going to be the year of From Software, dude.
Oh, God. They're probably going to release, at that point, they're probably going to release Bloodborne on PC, let's be honest.
Bloodborne on PC.
Elden
Ring, probably 2022, 2021.
Yes.
Demon Souls remake by the guys who did Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, give me some of that good goo-goo.
Oh, It looks clean. Those guys at I think what they call it, Blue Point.
Blue Point, maybe.
Those guys are no slouches, man.
Oh my god, they are fantastic.
Every attention to detail is going to be hit on that game.
And that early ass PS3 game coming to the PS5 with remastered graphics, that's going to be wild.
I'm happy. I'm happy they're really paying attention to, because we thought Demon Souls was a done deal, man, because Dark Souls took off and ran with it. We thought Demon Souls was never going to get touched, right? But now this gives hope that we can have two offset branching from software intellectual properties. Dark Souls, 3 technically, because Bloodborne's its own thing.
Well, I think honestly they're done with Dark Souls. I think they're going to move on to other series in general now. But all the same, fantastic stuff.
Man, say, hey, we can't make Dark Souls 4. Let's make Demon Souls 2.
If they make a Demon Souls 2, I'm just going to freaking launch myself into orbit.
Dude, isn't that the logical, progression? We can't, Dark Souls is done, dude. We that story's told. You know what's a lot of wiggle room?
I'm just going to hype myself down and launch myself like the Hulk straight into orbit out of pure hype.
Planet Austin, dude. I think we just found the name of our podcast episode.
Let's not.
Planet Austin.
Oh, there'd be a lot of weird feelings on that planet.
There'd be a lot of beef jerky and mayonnaise. I don't know why. Not even the good mayonnaise, the warm mayonnaise that you left out.
If you put mayonnaise on your lips, it moisturizes it.
Dude, little scoop, little bottom lip. Pucker up. It'll get you where you need to go. Speaking of things that are moisturized, we're going to talk about Deathloop, PS5 gameplay.
It's from Arcane Studios, same people who made Dishonored. Honestly, mwah. Italian kissy face. Mwah.
I'm curious about what the multiplayer is going to be like. I'm assuming you're going to be playing the game, you're going to be fighting NPCs, and out of nowhere, the other player is going to show up and just wreck your day. I like that idea of not knowing when the multiplayer starts and when you're playing a single player campaign and it just turns into multiplayer on a dime.
It's like Dark Souls.
Yeah, they invade your game.
That's some good stuff, honestly. I kind of like that quite a bit. Honestly, the art style looks great. I like the main character. He seems like a tired old man who is done with this bullshit.
He's just so over it, dude. How many loops has he been in, right?
Stubborn old man, though.
It reminds me a lot of that one black and white Wii game where it was like a murder channel.
Like Mad World?
Mad World was it called, where the only color was blood?
Yeah, it had Steve Bloom as the main character with the guy with the chainsaw for an arm, I think, or something like that.
Where it's goofy fun, guns.
Killer TV. Something like that, yeah.
Was that the name of it?
No, it was like a killer TV channel / game into itself, essentially.
Interesting.
He would broadcast the killings.
It was a channel. It was kind of like Manhunt in a weird way.
Yeah, but more goofy.
Manhunt. Oh, geez. They'll never bring that back, Rockstar.
Nope.
In a million years.
Nope.
So
do we need to talk about Gran Turismo? Because I think we already kind of did.
We already kind of did. It won the poll. Obviously, people are hyped for it. It's a racing game that goes vroom. It'll look pretty. That's all we really need to say about
vroom,
it.
Vroom, vroom. Car sexuals. Anyway.
We can say the exact car sexual. I fucking love cars.
I'm going to make love to this exhaust pipe.
Guess what? I'm going to fuck this car. Anyway, speaking of things that are pretty and is pretty much the same thing over and over, NBA 2K21.
It's basketball.
We're playing basketball. As long as it doesn't have predatory microtransactions, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
It will though.
Yeah.
It will though.
It always will.
It will though. It's EA.
Because I thought it was Activision.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's NBA. If you like basketball games, go ahead, guys.
Go ahead.
Have fun.
Have fun. You don't have. Yep. We can't watch it. You might as well play it.
Then we have Mario Odyssey. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry.
Nope, sorry.
We have Sackboy. A big adventure.
Sackboy is a PlayStation staple. At least it's not.
PS3.
At least it's not Knack.
God, Knack died.
Knack died the hardest, Doug.
But Little Big Planet makes its own little thing now, and I guess that's cute for kids.
And that's cool. It's interesting because it's not called Little Big Planet 3.
It's just called Sackboy.
So I don't even know how. And the thing about Little Big Planet was its stage creation.
Yeah. So honestly, good. This is a good little kids game.
Yeah, cool. Something for your nephews to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
little
exactly.
cousins, Doug.
Well, also nieces. Don't be sexist.
Little nephews, nieces, the little ones, dude.
You gotta be inclusive, Mike. Don't.
I'm not going to be exclusive, even though we're naming all PlayStation exclusive games. Anyway,
did you even pay attention to the Xbox consoles presentation? Because I really didn't.
We're going to talk about that at the end. I have some things. We're going to talk about some Xbox, dude.
Oh, I just ousted myself. Oh boy.
Oh, hoisted by my own petard. Hitman 3, new Hitman.
I mean,
more of the same.
Yeah. Honestly,
I hate to say it.
Pretty. I just don't know the gameplay because there's no new gameplay to it.
Nope. You're in Dubai. You're getting turned in Dubai. I'm about, you're out. What's the name of that super tower that they're on?
I don't know.
More of the same. It looks
slavery.
Pretty.
I mean, Dubai has slavery. That's all I know.
Ooh. I'm looking for the lie, and it just points me that I can't find the lie, so it points me in the direction of Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay, Ghostwire. I gotta say, I did not expect that kind of gameplay.
First person gameplay. Japan does not first person. As a culture, they don't first person.
No, not typically.
Name me another first person Japanese made game.
I mean, it's probably out there, but it's gonna be a hard find, and I do not have the know-how to find it right now.
It looks like a mix between
it's
Skyrim and.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. It's like Ethan Carter first person with cyber horror.
Cyber horror, digital danger.
I'm gonna go with cyber horror because that's what feels like. It's supernatural,
digitized horror.
Yeah, digital ennui and digital freaking horror stories in Japan.
It just looks wild. It looks like a Junji Ito acid trip.
Yeah, honestly, I'm interested. It's not gonna be the best selling thing for me. It's not gonna be a hard hitter that's going to grab my attention. But honestly, this is just
it looks wacky, dude.
Weird and interesting. That's the main word I can think of. It's interesting.
The guy's doing Naruto level hand gesture explosion techniques, Doug.
It's called Mudra.
I am sorry. I am sorry.
I hate Naruto so goddamn much.
This is why you know so much about it, my man. This is your curse. This is your curse. This is why you're here. Are we here just to suffer? Godfall. Next game from Gearbox. Multiplayer. I don't know. I don't know what to take away from this, man.
I did not like that trailer because the music was really offsetting.
It didn't match what was happening.
I mean, it's.
I need another trailer.
Music that hypes you up.
I need another trailer.
I need a better trailer because it was so quick you couldn't really see what was going on fully.
I couldn't understand the gameplay.
Flashy, bang, bang. Yeah, cool. Hype, rap music. I mean,
music's
not the problem. It's just that it wasn't the greatest setting or theme.
Is this going for a For Honor kind of thing? Is it PvE? Is it PvP? I couldn't really tell what was happening.
At this point, it looks like a freemium game to me. You get it for free, then you pay money to get extra stuff for it.
I wasn't a fan of that trailer, dude. I couldn't follow it.
The original trailers from last year looked really, really cool. Just like the trailers, no gameplay. But now it's just kind of
I don't know. It didn't leave me between the music and the haphazardness of the trailer and the tryhardiness of it. It just seemed a little much to me.
I mean, there's okay things about it, but it's just not really.
What was was Capcom Presents whatever the hell Pragmata is.
It's a Death Stranding inspired trailer, from what I could tell.
What could we glean any kind of gameplay from that trailer?
It's how somebody on Reddit said it's as if somebody at Capcom watched the first Death Stranding trailer and said, "I'm gonna make a game off of that," and made Pragmata.
Hey guys, I'm making Death Stranding 2, not number 2, but TOO. It reminds me of Gravity Rush in a weird way.
The idea that your personal AI/computer is now a little girl who follows you around and 3D prints things off your ass pocket is really terrifying for me.
You don't want the ass pocket 3D technology, Doug?
I do not want an ass pocket 3D printer that a little girl controls for me. That sounds really goddamn terrifying.
But the satellite crashed through the reality, dude.
It wasn't reality. It's probably a Dyson sphere kind of thing where they have an entire star/orbital system covered in a mechanical dome to siphon power off of it.
Did you watch Watchmen on HBO?
I have not. I need to.
Ooh, there's a Dyson sphere in that show.
Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ.
Dope. You need to watch it. Jeremy Irons is freaking Ozymandias, Doug. It's insane.
Oh, I need to watch that then.
Pragmata. It's a new IP from Capcom. God knows what it is. We're not going to see it anytime soon. It's a spaceman with a digital little child.
And a digital cat, too?
And an inside-out cat. Speaking of cats, I didn't mention it, but Stray was also...
Oh, Stray looks cool. Like a really cool indie darling. That's why I think when I think of Stray, I think indie darling right away.
It's an indie darling. There's a lot of indie darling games that I didn't mention. Little Devils. That game's in the news because it had like African Aborigines in the game, and someone got upset, so they have to take those characters out because they're racially insensitive.
What about that other game? Kenna. A journey, whatever.
It had like cameo kind of feels to it. It's interesting.
I dig it. I think it'd be really cool.
I dig it. I need more gameplay. It had some Pikmin mixed in with some design's nice. I like the character design. You know what I'm saying? Give me a nice elevator level. We'll be fine.
Oh God.
Abe's Odyssey is back. Oddworld Soulstorm.
That came out of left field for me.
Who knew?
Who could have seen this?
Oddworld's been dead forever, dude.
I mean, they remade Stranger's Wrath and put it on the Switch, I think, recently, or PC, or whatever.
That's interesting.
Oddworld is like...
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take it. I don't know if I'll buy it.
It's so confusing because they're both great stuff, but I never see them as a continuing franchise.
At all. It's the weirdest franchise, dude. It has no market. The gameplay is so specific that it's
specifically nostalgic.
It's just nostalgic, but it's also good. Those are never bad games. Right?
I'm very confused.
It's like if Kid Chameleon came back. Like, what the hell? Why is this the way?
Yeah.
My most interesting game of the original titles was a game called Returnal. This looks interesting.
It's a roguelike space horror game.
It's a roguelike space horror shoot 'em up.
Now, granted, we could be completely wrong with those genre descriptions, but that's what I took away from that trailer.
That's what I gleaned from the trailer, right?
Exactly.
It's a shmup. It's a roguelike horror shmup. And you're playing as a character who's in another death loop, funny enough. There seems to be a common theme for next gen. And every time you die, the landscape changes.
In extreme ways, too.
In very extreme ways. Entire settings adjust.
The creature designs are really, really wicked. I love them.
They look neat, man. This was my game of show for me.
Really?
I really think this looks fascinating, dude.
Over Horizon and whatnot?
I mean, those were to be expected. You know what I mean? I was expecting
in the original category.
In the original category. Yeah, like my game of show is Horizon. You know?
Okay. That makes
in the
sense.
original, like, I didn't expect this category. Returnal looks the most interesting.
I could definitely see that.
Middle-aged protagonist? That's super weird, dude. Like, you know,
it's a woman too, which is also
middle-aged female protagonist. Like, that doesn't happen. Right?
No, it doesn't.
It's super cool. I love it. I'm sold. I want to know what the story is behind that. It gives me like Control vibes. If you ever play Control.
I played a little bit of that game and I watched someone else play it. Man, that's a weird one.
I love it. Transdimensional understanding. Speaking of Blast from the Past, did you expect a Destruction Derby?
No.
Destruction All-Stars?
That is it.
Weird.
That game screams so much of Rocket League meets Fortnite to me. It's in a weird category of I want to play it, but at the same time, I don't see myself dedicating a lot of time to it.
Games like this make me upset, and I'm going to give you...
Okay.
They make me upset, because this is a marketing guy who said, how can we market this game that's pretty much its own thing? This is, like you said, this is a guy saying, PlayStation doesn't have we want our own Rocket League. How do we do it? We create Rocket League. Okay, we need to tie a name to it that's going to trigger nostalgia. What's a game we haven't touched in, let's say, 20 years? Destruction Derby. Let's just call it Destruction All-Stars. Right? It has nothing to do with Destruction Derby.
The game looks interesting. That's the key thing. It looks interesting.
It looks fun.
Like,
it looks like a mix of Twisted Metal and Rocket League.
It's a mindless, fun game, and I kind of want to just get into it because of that concept alone.
I want to make a character. I want to deck out my car. I want to deck out my Kill la Kill car and play Don't Lose Your Way all day. You know what I mean?
God,
that's what I want. This is Michael's dream.
If I can make a Metal Gear Rising car, I'll get on.
And just play Rules of Nature all day while slicing up cars and doing karate kicks on people, dressed as Raiden, dude.
Sands of Time is a better song in that soundtrack, I have to admit.
Whatever. We'll agree to disagree on that one.
Oh, the hell no, Mike. It's facts.
No, these ain't facts, bruh. These is bug-snax. These ain't facts.
Okay, that's actually... Oh, man, that is the weirdest Viva Pinata successor I have ever seen.
What did I watch? What is it?
You watched people like slowly become homunculi of whatever they ate.
What eldritch horror is bug-snax, Doug?
You are what you eat in the most literal. And then you see a weird food golem become its own thing and charge the camera.
Charge the camera. I love it, dude.
Does this mean like your character can be eaten and like the enemies can like become your character? Like what the fuck is going on here?
You ever seen that movie Society?
No.
An old horror movie where the rich literally eat the poor?
I have not, but that sounds fantastic.
If you like body horror, check out Society, dude. You will thank me later. Or you will curse my name. Depends. Bug-snax is the Society of video games, dude.
It's so zany, and this is from Octodad's developers, by the way.
Yeah, so they're
no
weird
shock.
anyway. They're
no
weird
shock.
Anyway. I'm imagining, you know how in Resident Evil, when the zombie hordes take you over, and they're ripping apart Jill Valentine, and it says you died, and they're just surrounding her? I'm imagining the bug-snax surrounding you, eating you, and becoming you as the you died shows up. That's how you die in that game. They're just becoming parts of you. But you're already parts of other bug-snax because you've already eaten other bug-snax. So they're eating your strawberry hands or your weenie thumbs or whatever is going on in that game. It's all about incest.
Yep, it's
very incestual.
This game looks freaking wild, and I want to see more of it.
I want to watch a Let's Play of it. I will not give it money.
Exactly. That's what the kind of game it is.
Yeah, I want to watch a Let's Play of it. I do not want to give it money. That's really bad to say. That's horrible. But I'm just saying, it's not my cup of tea. I don't even want that game in the house, just in case like I'm not there and like my family member's kid starts playing it. Ooh, bug-snax. Next thing you know, I've created a little HP Lovecraft, and then they hate me for it. Lastly on the list, Square Enix's unnamed Project Athia.
Hey, if you want real body horror, Event Horizons is available on Netflix right now in America.
Watch Event Horizon.
Don't do that.
I owe you guys an MOTN reviews of Event Horizon.
I'm never gonna touch that movie with you. I swear to God.
It's already happened, Austin.
I will literally refuse to watch that movie again. I watched it once.
You can't leave. She won't let you. All right,
we're leaving.
I'll rope Brian into it. He'll be fine. I'll get him nice and drunk, and we'll talk about it.
I'm gonna be Lawrence Fishburne and just go, "We're leaving."
We're leaving. And then I'll be Cenobite levels of Sam Neill giving you back.
Where we're going, we don't need eyes.
Where we're going, we don't need eyes to see. Watch Event Horizon. Okay,
Project Athia.
Project Athia We don't know what the hell this is. You jump around. It looks fun. You control the trees, just like the first Hokage.
And it looks really nice. It looks really good. Fuck you, Mike. It looks really nice and just polished in a super cool manner. It's for Square Enix, and I kind of like Square Enix, what they do a lot. So
I like Square when they do original ideas.
Yes.
I like when they don't retread the Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts thing. I like when you see Square, you see something new. Ooh, these guys have interesting ideas. Who's making it? Is it a like who's the creative team?
I don't know because
I don't know.
Mm.
Right? Does it have a racing level? These are all good questions. We won't know probably for another 2-3 years.
Oh yeah, it's probably gonna be in like 3 years' time, honestly.
Yep.
Because Square Enix has a really bad habit of doing that. They like make games and just let it ride for about 3 years.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts took what 10 years.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7, what 15?
I'm looking through here.
Final Fantasy 15, 10 years.
Luminous Productions, the game company, the game team, their only claim to fame.
Uh-oh.
Give me a wild guess. Do not look this up. Try to guess what game they've done for Square Enix in the past.
Remember Me? That was Capcom, wasn't it?
Nope, it was not. Remember Me. So to be fair, they made the Luminous engine, which they've used for their games previously. The only game they've made and ported for them is Final Fantasy 15 Stadia version.
That's not good. Oh, no.
Now, fair, they made the engine themselves, so there's that.
Well,
however,
maybe this is how they cut their teeth, man.
They ported 15, the Stadia version.
We're not talking about the Stadia, because F the Stadia.
Oh, you mean like how they put Gods and Monsters up early for 30 minutes?
Oh, God,
Did you hear that?
I hate Google. No, what?
Stadia on Thursday, before the game conferences were even a thing, put up Ubisoft's game Gods and Monsters for 30 minutes for free.
The full game.
The alpha version of the game.
What ass clowns? How do you accidentally do that? How'd they get it? How'd they get the alpha? The full alpha?
It might be like the beta. I don't know, but there's like unfinished character models and like white backgrounds everywhere.
Please say psych, Doug. Please say psych, dude.
I'm gonna find that and just link it to you in the chat in a few minutes. Just give me a few seconds. Go ahead and just.
The Stadia is probably the biggest console mistake since the Ouya. Remember the Ouya?
Yeah.
Remember the Ouya?
Back in the day.
The Stadia is the same thing, guys. I feel bad for humans that bought the Stadia. There's a guy right now listening who's looking at his Stadia. There's like, F you, Mike and Austin. I love my.
I hope there's someone like that. Here you go. There's a little link for you in the chat.
Oh,
God, they have a video up there, and it is enlightening.
Oh my glob, as Finn the Human would say. Oh my glob. And the hits keep on. This is what I love, guys. I love the Fallout 76 levels of horror that some of these game console developers will come across.
For context, they put up the game build of the game from 2019.
30 minutes. You can't take that 30 minutes back. There's cats right now. There are game developers finishing the game for them out there right now.
There's a Stadia subreddit.
Chef's kiss, Doug.
No, that's a kiss of death right there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Jesus.
That's the PS5 for now, man.
So tell me about the Xbox Game Center Pass that I did not pay attention to.
The Xbox, and truthfully, I didn't know the Xbox did a thing yet. I don't think they have done a thing yet, right? The only games I know for a fact are coming on the Xbox is Hellblade 2, in Halo Infinite. Needless to say that the Infinite title has bad juju, so I don't know why anybody would call any game Infinite anytime soon, given BioShock Infinite and its racial issues, given Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and its multitude of problems. Microsoft is going to have to do something drastic to even compete in this console war.
Well, they are making a beefier, stronger machine, and I think they're going to integrate a lot more possibilities with games and indie developers in general over what Sony has right now. So I think they actually have quite a few strong advantages.
But they have no exclusives.
It depends on how they execute.
They have to really, really
try
thread the needle on this, because I mean, I sat out the entire Xbox generation. I didn't even think about getting an Xbox One at all, because it's like the Xbox Series X is more powerful than the PlayStation Pro. That's facts. But you can't play Bloodborne on an Xbox One X. You can't play Street Fighter V, even though it's not that great of a game, but still, you can't play God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon. I mean, Xbox, I can't think of one Xbox Microsoft-owned intellectual property that is a killer app for that system.
Gears of War?
Gears of War? Gears of War 6 came and went. I didn't care. Forza? They would have to do something like BioShock 3. Something like that.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
It'd have to be like Alan Wake 2. Something nuts, dude. Like something so Jade Empire remaster.
That'd be nice.
That's a pull.
BioWare would have to really, really try to stop fucking everything up.
BioWare they would have to wake up the ghost of BioWare and actually make a decent Mass Effect game, which is impossible at this point. I'm just saying that they're going to lose this console war again if their exclusives aren't good. And it doesn't matter how powerful your system is. If there's no games to play on it, no one's going to care.
Yeah.
The exact same thing's going to happen.
Hey, man.
No one's going to care.
Hey, the PC Game Show had a lot of indie games yesterday, and that's really about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Nintendo always jumpstarts the console, the next generation, right?
Yes.
And then it goes Xbox. And then it goes PlayStation. So I have a feeling the Series X is going to launch before the PlayStation 5. But with what?
I think they're going to launch Holiday this year together in a competition, of course.
Because
it just feels like they're going to do that because they always like to do that to each other. But yeah.
I'm just like, give me a reason to buy your system, Microsoft. Give me a reason to own a Microsoft over a PS5 rather. And Halo's not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Gears of War is not going to do it, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of been Microsoft's problem since the 360.
Yeah.
They just don't have, and they've bought up all these they bought up all these studios. They bought up Ninja Theory. They bought up all these crazy new studios, which will make content for them. It'll be original IPs.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So that they may, and they have backwards compatibility sewed up, which PlayStation has been mums about. So that's a one-up over PlayStation.
I mean, in all honesty, the PC market will always be, I guess, the most stable because it's always going to be there no matter what.
Yeah, 100%.
And they'll always have the better versions of every game you can probably play on.
Yep.
And they just got Persona 4 Golden, guys.
But then you're also asking a person to not only own a Xbox One X or whatever, but you're also to invest $1,000 in a gaming PC.
Yeah. It's got an expensive entry barrier, but once you're in, you can actually start slowly.
But then owning a PC is like owning a car, dude. You're constantly working on that thing.
Yeah.
By the time you put in a graphics card, it's already outdated, and you're just sitting there mad.
That's actually kind of fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be at least a 2-3 year gap before we get the PS5 Slim, right? So there's going to be something to be had before they give it a beefier, hard drive. Not to mention that PS5 has a open source hardware, so that you're going to be able to have options of which internal hard drive you want to put in that thing.
I am so glad. And honestly, it already has an SSD, which is going to help a whole hell of a lot already.
It comes with a standard SSD, but you can rip that out and get a beefier SSD and throw it in there.
As long as it fits the dimensions.
As long as it fits the dimensions and as long as it's compatible.
Which that means Sony's going to start building them themselves, like 2 terabyte SSDs, and it's going to go freaking insane.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And Xbox has this weird little memory card stick they want you to buy that they control, where if I can get a Western Digital and throw that into like a PS5 and it runs just fine, but it's like a 5 terabyte SSD.
Oh man, you do not need to buy anything else after that, actually.
You're good for the whole generation, dude. You're good for the whole generation.
Generation beyond that, even, maybe.
You take the SSD and slide it into the 6.
Yeah.
You'll still have space. You'll still have space, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, PlayStation is so ahead of the game. They're playing. I always think of it like Microsoft and Sony are always playing 3D chess and doing Bobby Fischer level shit, while Nintendo is playing Foursquare with the kids outside.
Well,
and that's not a bad thing.
Nintendo's like got their stuff on lock. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Their game is still mobile. For God's sake, they still have mobile switches. They can go out of the dock. They can get back in the dock. It's fantastic stuff. And their exclusive IP content is also just next level.
Animal Crossing will be the game of the year, right?
I'm not sure about that, but it's going to be a contender.
It's good, man. So Nintendo is not even in the same league as them, and they don't want to be. Right? They're like,
they have their own league.
We have our own league. We're playing a completely different game. You guys are playing chess. We're over here playing checkers. But our checkers game is sick, dude. We're getting nuts. Whereas Xbox and PlayStation are always going blows with each other. And the PlayStation,
I just want Nintendo to give me another Nintendo Direct soon. Just anytime. And I want them to tell me Persona's going to come to the Switch, guys. Be patient. It's going to come to the Switch. And I will cry. I will cry and I will bend over in relief.
I just want Metroid Prime 3.
That's going to happen. It's just going to take a long time.
I want Bayonetta 3.
That will also likely happen. Also, do you know that Okami 2 might be a thing?
Okami 2. Exclusive to the Switch.
Like there's rumors within Capcom itself saying, yeah, Okami 2 might be a thing soon.
That's a thing. Silent Hills with Kojima. back with freaking Konami? That's a thing.
No.
That's not even vaporware. That may be a thing.
No, it's not.
The rebirth of Silent Hills.
It's not going to happen.
Kojima just said he had to abandon an ongoing project to start up something emergency on the new. I think Konami swallowed their pride and said, hey man, let's really do this.
I sincerely doubt that. I think he's going to make his own IP that's similar to Silent Hills, but completely more drastic and better.
They re-released PT up-resed on the Xbox One X for $20. People would buy it.
If they did, I would eat crow.
You re-release PT on the Xbox Series X exclusive, or the PS5 exclusive, for $20. People would buy it. And it could still feed into Silent Hills. And Norman Reedus could still play the protagonist.
If that did happen, I would be
insane.
Very much surprised, actually.
That's some...
If that ever happened. But I see that happening within, like, a 10% chance of reality.
Yeah, I'm feeling more 25 to 30% from what I'm hearing.
You're optimistic.
I'm very optimistic.
You're very optimistic.
Not that I even want that, right? But I want Konami to do stuff, man. I want Castlevania.
Yeah, Konami doesn't care. They have health clubs. They have pachinko parlors.
I know they don't, man. But they're holding so many good IPs hostage, dude.
Yeah, for their pachinko parlors.
I want... Metal Gear is dead, but I would like a Revengeance 2. PS5 graphics, platinum games.
Yeah, that'd be
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. But then again, I thought Demon Souls would never get a remaster. I mean,
okay. That's not. That's
Demon
not
Souls
wrong.
was dead, dude.
The comparison is not wrong.
Demon Souls was deader than disco, man. That was the deadest of all dead. Dark Souls ate that, you know?
Remember when Beyond Good and Evil was a thing for like the past 2 years?
That's gone quiet. That's a PS5. That's PS5. That's going to be next gen exclusive. Next gen. We're not going to hear about that till next year. I bet money. We're not going to see that again until next year.
Well, actually, Ubisoft has a conference next month.
Man, they're going to be showing off whatever their new AC is. They're not going to be worried about that.
There'll be Valhalla. There'll be Far Cry 6, which is going to be outside the States. And
there'll be Just Dance Infinite.
Yeah. There might be For Honor. Like maybe For Honor 2. That'd be kind of hilarious to me, honestly, if they did that.
That would be neat with upgraded graphics for like the Xbox Series X. Why not? It's Xbox, dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
Add different cultures into it. Just be culturally sensitive, which they have been. For Honor is very good at that. They're very good being culturally sensitive. I'm always fingers crossed for Alan Wake 2, which will never
Gods
happen.
of Monsters is going to get a proper trailer this
Gods
time.
of Monsters. That Skull and Bones game.
I would like to see more of that. Apparently, they scrapped it and rebuilt it. Apparently, from what people have been saying,
That sucks. I like. I mean, it's in the same vein as like Gran Turismo for me, where it's like nautical boat action is kind of the same as like race car stuff. You know,
I like it a lot more than just racing cars.
Then vroom vroom. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's like actually a bit more fun and drastic. God, I remember playing 440,000 Armada. You like take control of like spaceships and do like maneuver battles in the middle of deep space with aliens and whatnot.
like even if they brought back like SXX, can you imagine if they did like a new SXX for the Xbox Series X?
That'd be wild. SSX on sex.
SXX on the sex, dog.
God, that's awful.
Tomb Raider 4. That'd be a console seller. Tomb Raider 4.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Left 4 Dead 3?
That's not Ubisoft. That's Valve.
I know.
Dude, you can't just insert shit.
Play it on Windows and Xbox.
Likely, we're going to see something for Rainbow Six Siege, though. That's more than likely.
Yeah, you know, gun game's got a gun game.
Gun. Shoot.
Madden 21 is going to be rearing its ugly head soon enough.
Oh, gee. Are they going to have a mini game where you get to kneel down and protest and be fired for it?
They're going to have a mini game where you're explaining to your general manager why you got in a fight in an elevator. That's not funny.
That's actually kind of bad. That's actually kind of bad. That man deserved to be in jail.
He's playing. He's a Hall of Famer. Just to go about the hypocrisy of the NFL. That does it, man. For this episode of Masters of the Nerdiverse. Any last thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
I'm looking forward to the PS5. I just want to hear more from Nintendo, for God's sake. And on a more real note, stay safe, be smart, don't go out in public still, because God, it's so freaking awful right now. If you're in a state that does not have mandatory quarantine or mandatory face mask laws yet, voluntarily just wear a face mask when you go out in public. The chances of reducing contact and spreading the virus is drastically done when you wear a mask, people. Just wear a goddamn mask.
With that, I will say I am looking forward to more this summer. We're not having a traditional E3, but conference, different game developers are doing their own thing. I know Bethesda may do something, God knows what, but looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to Monster Hunter updates. Electron should be coming out soon. Cannot wait for that. Also, I want to watch The Five Bloods on Netflix, the new Spike Lee joint, and I also want to watch Artemis Fowl. I heard it's really bad on Disney Plus.
I hear it's. I read the books. God, it looks awful.
I gotta know. I gotta feel it. So we'll probably talk about that next week. And just to chime on what Austin was talking about, it's really simple, people. Be smart. Stay in the house. It's still very real in the field out there. Protest responsibly. Socialize responsibly. Don't be a chicken little. You know what I'm saying? The news is not your friend. Let me just say that. The news is not your friend. Self-educate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You take care of you. You take care of everyone that you love. It's as simple as that. If you're responsible, you're being responsible for them too. So let's just keep it locked in for a little bit longer. We got this. We've all understood that 2020 is a wrap. This whole year is a wash. Let's just prepare ourselves for a new dawn in 2021, and let's just be smart and be healthy. With that, I've of course been your host, Mike G.
And I have been the new host, big shoes to fill, Austin Ozzy.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.